I'm excited to be here with Cassandra. Today, we're going to do some cooking together. And I have noticed by myself, I am not making lovely salads. And at the same time, I've gotten a little bored of the mixed greens in the plastic containers. So, this today is going to be a way to make some salads that are fun, that are exciting, and nourishing for the week. And I'm really happy to be cooking with you today.
I'm excited to get to chopping and cooking together.
One of the things that's really nice about cooking with you, Cassandra, it's like really motivating to get my kitchen a little cleaner, to get myself a little organized. It made me shop for like fresh vegetables, and it was really fun to stand at the produce section of the supermarket and just think, okay, what do I want to make? And I don't have a plan in mind today of exactly what I'm going to make. I know exactly what dressing I'm going to make, but everything else is just like going to be sort of spontaneously creative. What do you like about cooking with another person?
Well, like you said, it makes you do it. So that's important. I love the intentionality behind it. I mean, I live by myself. I'm only cooking for me. So a lot of times it's like, okay, I know I need to eat. So I'll just like grab something and I just eat just to eat. Not that I don't eat salads on my own, I do, but I notice a very distinct difference between me just like tossing whatever stuff I may find in my fridge and just eating it and basically getting it over with so I can move on about my day versus when I'm doing that, whether it's like with you on a video or if I'm having just some friends getting together and we're making a meal together. Again, there's intentionality behind it. So we're making the foods for that caloric intake and that nourishment, but it also it just feeds my soul and it just feels better when I'm eating it. It tastes better. There's just more behind it. So I love doing that with friends or with you on a video. It's a really special experience.
Great. And I recommend people find someone to cook with sometimes. If you're, if you have a family, maybe you have a naturally captive audience there to co-partner with on your cooking. But if you don't, invite a friend over, or if you can't invite a friend over, I live in the middle of the boonies. So it's really great to be able to cook on Zoom. And I never thought that that would be much fun, but it really is fun. So I'm excited to get started. What are you making, Cassandra?
Kind of like you. With my salads, I don't usually come up with much of a plan. Like sometimes I'll see a salad on a menu somewhere or, on social and see like what's in it. And I'll be like, oh, I kind of want to adapt that. But most times it's what do I have in my fridge or what is speaking to me? What looks good? What sounds good? So today I, kind of looked in my fridge to see what I had. I mean, I have a mixed green salad that has different butter lettuces. That's one of my favorites. I have some celery that I'm going to put in there. I have one of my favorites, especially this time of year in spring, summer, dandelion greens because I love bitter and it's so good for liver. We just got a lot of congestion going on. It just helps with, kind of that detox process. So I'm a big fan of dandelion greens. Brings a lot of flavor. I have zucchini and I have yellow squash. I have some broccoli as well. And then I already have it made, but I have lentils. I have lentils that I have already made, but this is, just any lentil that you like. And then I actually make my lentils in veggie broth just because then it adds another level of flavor to it. And then I have some berries. I have raspberries and blueberries. So then I actually won't really use a dressing outside of olive oil and maybe a little sea salt because the berries bring a lot of flavor.
That's great. I think lentils are one of the highest protein sources, like vegan protein sources. I have to double check the amount of protein like in a cup, but I think it's pretty high.
Yeah, my bag here tells me that for a third of a cup of dry, so that would be like half to a two-thirds cup, there's 9 grams of protein. So you do get a nice amount in there as well. And I also love that it has a lot of fiber. I mean, you get a lot of goodness in lentils.
But that is a really nice protein addition. I love that. I'm looking at a salad that I just picked what appealed to me, and I've got some green cabbage, which green cabbage is like the sweetest of the cabbages, I think. And then I have some radicchio, which is like an Italian, slightly bitter lettuce. Usually you use the whole leaves, but I'm going to cut it. And then I just tipped over my parsley. Fortunately, it landed on the base, didn't go all over the floor. So those are my base of leafy things. And that's strategically how I'm going to start my salad, is just get the base of the leafy parts the way that I like them. And then I'll add some things. I'm starting chopping. Also, the color is like, green cabbage is a pale green. Radicchio is this beautiful burgundy red.
Yeah, a lot of times I like to put purple cabbage.
Yeah, purple cabbage is lovely too. So you were telling me about this very sweet little social event that you organized over the weekend. Do you want to?
Yeah, this past weekend, I hosted a tea party with some of my friends, invited them over. A gal pal of mine, we co-hosted together and had, two different kinds of tea. We had the tea sets and, everybody kind of like dressed up and just had, a beautiful summer tea and made different little mini flatbreads, one with a red pepper hummus and a balsamic glaze drizzled, an avocado toast, and then I made little mini like Rice Krispie treats. I made it lovely. Oh my gosh, you're so good. And now I'm so inspired can't wait to make it again. Chia pudding with using coconut milk and then topped it with fresh strawberries and kiwi.
That's a wonderful way to gather people together. And, sometimes we think, well, we have to make a whole dinner in order to invite people over to eat with them. And sometimes you can pick a lighter, easier meal earlier in the day, and that
Yeah,
just fits better. So that
for
sounds
sure.
what a lovely way to be with friends.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I just want to show the colors of my salad as it's coming together, because I've got the dark green of the parsley and I've got green cabbage and the burgundy of the radicchio, and it's just pleasing to me.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So that makes me think, okay, what can I add to it?
Right? I feel like that's easy to do with salads where it's easy to just be like, okay, what else? What else? What else can I add?
You know what's so cool about, green pepper? Now, I've always loved eating it raw. I'm half Hungarian and it's a very Hungarian thing. And in fact, if I ever get to, when you're emotionally upset and you can't eat, I go back to eating green peppers and salami, which is a very Hungarian kind of staple meal. I mean, they would serve it with bread and cheese and stuff.
I didn't know that. That's really cool. Huh. That is very interesting.
Yeah,
That
when
looks
I'm,
like a go-to for you.
do you have times where, like, for whatever reason, I mean, there's a lot of stuff we all go through in life where it affects you and you just can't quite, nothing feels right to eat. Then what do you eat?
Yeah, I definitely am obsessed with tea. It's Emperor's Cloud and Mist green tea. It's a stronger green tea. That is how I ground myself. So nothing else. I always have that.
That's great.
Yeah. And now I chopped up some little broccolis in there. I just tossed some of that in there. So I'm building my salad. I have a lot of green right now. I'm noticing that as I'm putting everything in my salad.
When we eat, digestion starts in our brain, like how it looks. And so there's something about making a dish that's pleasing and served in a dish, a plate or bowl that's pleasing, that helps us to start salivating and make digestive enzymes.
Exactly. Yeah, digestion starts in the brain. That is for sure.
Yeah.
So now I'm cutting out my yellow squash. And I personally don't love the seeds in zucchini and yellow squash. So what I say is I gut it.
Another way I've done with squash is just grate it, like grated squashes.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. I like that. I'll do that with carrots. I will just like take my carrot or like your veggie peeler and I'll just put it over the bowl and just add little drips that way.
Yeah, that's a nice idea. I am peeling a cucumber because I have had this cucumber and it is bitter, even though I generally eat vegetables with peels because I know there's a lot of nutrients there.
But sometimes if it's not,
You just want to enjoy eating it, which is
yeah,
important too.
there we go. Adding the yellow squash. is good because it gives me some color.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's good.
And the other thing is like the cuts that you use. I'm like, today I'm feeling like I want everything bite size.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to struggle with anything. You know what it's like when you're having a salad and you're meeting someone for lunch and it's like someone you're not that familiar with, and then your salad has all these giant pieces in, and all of a sudden it feels very messy to eat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm flicking salad dressing everywhere just by eating this.
There we go. Now I have a little color. So I have my yellow squash and I put some raspberries in there. So
Raspberries, that looks beautiful.
yeah, I love berries this time of year.
That is lovely. I have some grapes and cranberries that I'm going to add at the end.
Ooh. I like to add pomegranate seeds sometimes too.
It's kind of like a fall thing or winter thing.
Yeah, yeah, in the fall. I also like green apple,
Yeah, green apple is nice.
which I have a bunch of those. I'm gonna have to do that probably sometime this week.
All right, I'm adding some green grapes because like you want the pieces small enough so that on a forkful you get a few different things. And that's the fun thing about a salad. You know, you're kind of experimenting with combination flavors. Like on this piece, I got the celery and the grape and the radicchio together. How does that combination taste? And then the next fork, you might have a little bit more of the green pepper and the celery, you know, and it just every forkful is kind of interesting that way.
Yeah, you get a different experience with every bite.
Exactly right. This can be so interesting about a salad. It feels very self-loving to prepare food that you know you're going to enjoy all week when you're super busy and you just have time to run in and out of the kitchen. You're going to have this beautiful dish.
Yeah, I definitely love my veggies cut up. And so I'm cutting extra just when I go to grab my veggies, whether I'm going to use them to make another salad or in something different, I'll have them ready to go. That's half the battles. I feel like having them cut and prepped.
Your veggies prepped makes it so much easier. And then it's true when you're cooking with somebody and then you're eating it by yourself later, it does remind you of the lovely time you had with someone. So I hope, you know, that this gives the feeling of having fun in the kitchen, enjoying your kitchen, bringing your heart into your kitchen, bringing some joy in food prep. Food is something like you kind of have to do it all the time. And so it's always something that you have to face.
Yeah, I think a lot of times it can feel like a mundane task, you know.
Like
um,
feeling that all it does is make a whole bunch more dirty dishes. And
Again, doing it with somebody is I always prefer it. I even like it, if I'm the one that's just doing it all and just someone is there.
right, you can just have a conversation if someone's just sitting there having a drink while you cook. That's lovely.
Yeah. It just makes it go by faster and you just kind of forget that you're sitting there chopping vegetables.
All right, now I have to show as best I can without tipping it out. There's my dish.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
Lovely. I feel good about that. Makes me happy to look at it. And now I'm going to work on my salad dressing.
I have mine now with all of my yummies,
Oh, wow.
zucchinis, my squash, everything. So
It's really nice. I am picking a recipe for salad dressing. I often just make salad dressings off the top of my head, but there is one that I just feel would be really good. It's a citrus one.
ooh.
It's from the I Am Grateful recipe book by Terces Engelhart and with Orchid from North Atlantic Books. This is recipes from a small chain of restaurants in California called Cafe Gratitude, and I don't think they're open anymore. But it was all raw food when you went, and it was really, really delicious. And every dish was called like a positive affirmation. For example, I'm going to make a citrus garlic dressing, and it's called I Am Intentional. So so when you would go to the restaurant and you would order your food, you would say, I would like I am beautiful with a side of I am blissful. And if I could have the I am gorgeous,
Oh,
that
I
would,
love it.
so you end up saying all these affirmations just by going to the restaurant. So there's,
Yeah, that's so fun. And that's funny that it's called I am intentional because we were talking about the intentionality of cooking when you're doing it with somebody or with a group of people.
all right. So 1 cup of olive oil. I loved when you were describing it. It sounded so good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
1 cup of olive oil. A glorious mess has arisen in my kitchen.
I know. I've been like tossing my veggie scraps just to the side. And I was like, well,
Do you compost?
yeah, definitely try to do composting in the winter, not as much because I kind of travel out west and I'm just there for a short period of time and then come back. So, but in the
Yeah.
summer, I definitely do
Do you
that.
do you have a garden, Cassandra?
I have a little outdoor space and I have a couple of just like raised beds. So nothing big, just to, go pick some strawberries or whatever, like
A grazing garden.
exactly. Oh, I love that. A grazing garden. So
Yeah.
I'm not producing large amounts of anything, but it's also just kind of one of those, I feel like it's lovely to have something that you grew
Yeah.
and you make as part of whether, yeah, it's a snack or part of your meal. Like it's just so satisfying. And then you know where your food came from.
So what I've put in so far is 1 cup of olive oil, a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 1/4 cup of orange juice. My orange juice was a little bit more like 1/2 cup because I want it really orangey.
Yeah. And that's what's fun with dressings. You can just kind of
Yeah.
play around.
To me, a recipe is an idea.
Yep.
It's
I'm
not
the
an
same way
ingredient.
when people are like, "Oh, do you have the recipe?" I'm like, "No."
I am very much just keep on going, but I know I love this recipe, so I do an approximate.
Yeah, they're great. They're a great guide. It's just a starting point
It's just the starting point.
that you can adjust to what.
Yes, and often you don't have the ingredients that
Yeah.
they call for, and you don't have to halt your whole kitchen experience because you don't have the exact ingredients. You make do, and sometimes it works great, sometimes it works better, sometimes it works not so good. But it's all good experience.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, I got, instead of making 2 teaspoons of chopped garlic, I just threw in the blender 2 big garlic cloves. And now I have to make zest. Okay, so this little tool is a zest maker. And I'm taking one of the peels. Well, it says zest of 1/3 of an orange. So I'm just zesting the peel into a bowl. I know with zest, like you don't want to go into the white. You just want to get the orange part. The
Yeah,
white part is a little bitter.
you want the colored part.
And there's unique vitamins in peels. So this is a nice way to get additional bioflavonoids, which, support the way vitamin C works as an antioxidant and helps you in your body. The other thing with salad dressings, you can add sort of nutritional powders to it if you like.
Oh, I've never done that before.
Like there's some nutritional powders that don't have a strong taste. Like, for example, magnesium powder is very mild.
Mm,
Tastes like you're saying, oh, I never remember to take my magnesium capsule.
yeah,
Open up a capsule and throw it in your salad dressing. And you're still going to get some, benefit from that.
that is a great idea.
Supplements are really helpful to just boost certain things
Mhm.
when you need to, and they're not very interesting to take. So it's very easy to forget, sort of accidentally on purpose, forget to take your supplements. So if you throw them into your salad dressings, other ones are like mushroom powders are kind of nice.
I could see that. I suppose if you had a liquid vitamin D.
Liquid vitamin D, yeah, that's a good idea. Mushroom powders can be a bit strong tasting. Okay, I think this might be enough. All right, what is it saying? 1 teaspoon of salt, so that's kind of a lot.
I'm really excited to have all of these veggies ready to go now. I'm gonna have so much. I was thinking about this that sometimes I will like just for vegan protein source. I don't love soy, like I don't like tofu, but there is a like fava bean tofu. I know they make like chickpea tofu now and like pumpkin seed tofu. I prefer fava bean. That's my favorite. I will use that and just like crumble it up and cook it and get it a little like crunchy and brown. Use that just straight sometimes, or I make my own taco seasoning. We'll make like a taco meat, if you will, with it, and then put that in a salad to have like a taco salad.
Love those ideas. I've had the pumfu, which is the pumpkin seed tofu.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really good. I haven't found the chickpea and the fava bean tofu, but maybe I haven't looked. So
Yeah. I've only seen the chickpea one time, and that was like at a local co-op. And sometimes I'll just add just chickpeas as well. That's another one. But the fava bean one I've seen at a couple of different grocery stores. Where I shop, it's by the tofu.
sorry if I interrupted you with I finally got my
Oh,
blend.
I didn't even hear it. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful color. Beautiful.
It's really good. And so I'm going to taste it. One of my handmade spoons. I made the spoon myself.
Oh my gosh. That's beautiful.
It's not as orangey as I'd like. I'm going to add some, and it actually is a little saltier, but when you put a salty thing on your salad, it spreads out. You know what? Maybe I'm just a sucker for the sweet taste, but I'm also going to add just a little bit of stevia. So that's the thing with salad dressings. You taste and you tweak. And you're not using a salad dressing today. Is that right?
No, I'm not. Sometimes I don't. I just use olive oil, like a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of sea salt, especially when I have berries, because I feel like those are so, especially like, and I have raspberries, so that's a much stronger berry, I feel like. So I don't do a dressing.
When I go out to eat in a salad bar, if they have real olive oil, I'll put that on.
Yeah, has to be real olive oil.
I asked at one local salad bar, can I see your olive oil container? Because they say, oh yeah, that's olive oil. And you look at the container and it's like a little bit of olive oil, but a lot of like really processed seed oils.
Exactly.
It's horrible. Like, don't ever eat that stuff. That's very
Yeah,
pro-inflammatory to have those.
very pro-inflammatory. Yes. Not what we're going for.
And like, if I didn't have stevia, I might put a date in here or something to make it sweet.
Oh, yeah.
I have the habit of not double dipping into even if it's just me that's eating it, it's just a habit, like not to double dip into my own cooking.
That much better?
It doesn't taste sweet from the stevia, but it brings the flavors out to have a little.
Okay.
I want to say I was thinking about how to add a little more protein to the salad if I wanted to, and I could put in some pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds. I bought them yesterday. I soaked them in a bowl of water last night. And then this morning I drained them. I added a little salt and put them in the oven. So I'll just take them out. If you want to do it like as a raw food, it has to be like below 100 and
Yeah, something like that.
15 or 150 or something, but I didn't do it that way. And so I put like parchment paper on Teflon underneath, and I don't want Teflon in my food. So it is actually pretty much done. And when you soak in dry seeds, it gets rid of phytates, which impede your mineral absorption. And you can even taste the flavor more, and it feels more digestible. So great. Let's hold up both of our salads.
Yummy.
Let's tip our cameras down a little bit. That's not too hard.
Awesome.
Wonderful. I'm so excited.
Me too.
How should we summarize this experience, Cassandra? What did you get out of it?
I got veggies for the rest of the week, which is amazing. And I got some lovely ideas on just, things to put into a salad and how to make it, jazz it up a little bit. Definitely appreciated your recipe for the dressing.
It's really good. And I really enjoyed cooking with you. It's just made it past the time of all the chopping and made that really fun and interesting. I always appreciate your enthusiasm about food and your knowledge and experience with food. And yeah, it's really nice to have fun in the kitchen.
Yeah, we got to eat, so we might as well make it a good time, right?
Absolutely. You got it.